All right, I hit it. Preparing to live stream the meeting. Setting up your meeting for custom streaming service. And maybe we're live, but I don't think so yet. I think we're live now. So yeah, we're live. Keith? No? Yes, now.
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
The album, my latest stand-up special, number 17, it's going to be out soon. I'm very excited. The title will be Nice Try, Tricksters. So if you ever fucked with me, you're on the list. I'm very excited. The Dad Emails book I got back, the formatting, quite frankly, a work of art.
It's gorgeous.
It looks so good. KeithandTheGirl.com/dad, D-A-D, if you're new to what I'm talking about. But a book about all the emails my dad has been sending behind my back to my ex-wife. Very exciting. Today's guest, well, come on. From Comedy Central Presents, this week at the Cellar, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Casey James Salengo. Hello, Casey.
Woo! How you doing, team? Good to be here. The Tower of Power, Too Sweet to Be Sour, the Wild Country Phoenix, the Big Dirty Dog, Howling of the Moonlight. Pair of pants, fitting just right, dancing, swinging. Good to see you guys. How you doing? I ran out of words.
I'm good now. You're fireworks. You're exciting, and you make me. It doesn't even bother me that you were late 22 minutes. It's great.
I was so late. I'm sorry, Keith. I could see the fear in your eyes. I'm sorry. This is my entire life, Keith. I can't handle it. I'm late to everything, and everyone thinks I'm just hanging out, drinking a pina colada. Just
I go
saying fuck their time, but I'm fucking in mad panic. I was gushing sweat. That's why it took longer. I had to towel my body down before I turn on the camera.
I say, Casey, just checking, where you at? And he goes, oh, I'm working on this other deadline of something that was due. So I'm late on this one. Do you have dreams about being late to things? Is there stress dreams?
Yeah, it's nonstop. It's a real problem. I was late meeting my buddy at the coffee shop. So when I actually just got there, set my stuff down, and then you called, and then I was like, all right, I gotta go. So he was kind of pissed. And
wait, what? You just got there?
Yeah. It's
you got there at the time you were supposed to be here.
I know because I put it down for the wrong day in the calendar.
Okay.
I was diagnosed with ADHD recently, which made a lot of sense.
What are you doing about that?
They're not doing anything. I have ADHD, and then I show up when I want. That's
Jesus.
What I'm doing.
Well, there is a thing called time blindness, which I've been trying to tell people for years.
There's a pill called anti-time blindness.
Right. There's pills for all these.
What's that? I'll take a pill. They got it.
Who told you have ADHD? Maybe ask them.
It was my therapist and my doctor, but they're very stingy with medications. So they're not giving me the real stuff. They haven't given me anything yet. Every deal I've had with a doctor takes forever, and it's awful.
That I super fucking believe. It's a nightmare. But they go, okay, you have ADHD. And then you go, okay, thanks, bye.
Well, my therapist and my doctor kind of work together in the same facility. And my therapist knows all my issues. Because I always give her a reason for being late. And finally, one day I was like, I'm lying. I'm late. I'm sorry. This is a big problem for me. And we talked about it. And she gave me a test for ADHD. And she said I got one of the highest scores she's ever seen. So
congrats.
Cool. So then she's like, go talk to the doctor about it. And now I don't know what the fuck's going on. Every time I ask them, they say they'll put me on Wellbutrin. That doesn't do shit. I've been on that before. It does. I've tried before. It didn't work. It's a nightmare. Everything. I don't know why everything is so slow. I get medications every month. The doctor or the fucking pharmacist fucks it up. I work with these Polish doctors, so they can't use computers. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Okay,
everything's a nightmare.
We're gonna skip that part.
I'm Polish. I'm Polish, so I can make fun of them. We're dumb people who shouldn't be in the medical field.
Let's make that the poll. Yeah, I'm just defending something, but we don't know. I mean, if you can't ask questions nowadays, what can you do?
Thank you,
my God.
Thank you. We're just asking questions.
Yeah. What race is the most dumb? We're asking. Anyways, I guess we'll never get to the bottom of that. All right.
Can we just talk about the Middle East?
It's white. It's white Polish people.
And the things we should just talk about the Middle East. You know what I noticed, by the way?
Please don't, though.
What do you guys think about this? On Reddit, some people were going off, had half an opinion about the Middle East. But then I noticed somebody that was really putting in a lot of hate into their messages, ironically, trying to solve the war, deleted all their posts.
Oh.
When people passionately yell their thoughts on something serious like war or how brilliant they are with their solutions and how you're a clueless idiot, and then they delete all their posts, should they have to apologize or should they be murdered? I take this very seriously. You're an idiot. Go fuck yourself. Suck your own dick in hell. And then you delete it all, and you think that's the end. But I know you dork. Like, why is that? How is that not a crime?
I wish there was a third option besides murder or whatever the other, but
I'm asking.
I've done this before. It's not calling people idiots or stuff, but sometimes once in a while I'll write a sincere tweet about something I'm passionate about, and then I'll just get embarrassed, or one of my friends will fucking be like, "Oh, you gave about it," and then I delete it immediately. And I don't want anything about me online to be sincere. Every time I try, it's humiliating. So I've got so many notes in my phone that say just jokes. Only write jokes. Nobody wants to hear your thoughts.
That's your screen. That's your screensaver.
It's always humiliating. I delete so many tweets. So you can murder me if you want.
But it's one tweet. Like you didn't have a conversation with somebody. That should be criminal. Having a conversation, yelling about them, and then deleting it 2 days later when
I've done that
through.
I did that before too.
Shame.
Well, I got involved in the fight that wasn't mine, and I shouldn't have been in. But I was a little drunk, and then I was humiliated that I engaged these people.
Well, Keith, doesn't that make you feel better? He's saying that he has done it, and the reason is he was humiliated. Don't you want that for these people? Isn't that your dream? Be humiliated.
Their name should have to stay there. They can delete it. It says deleted.
Your name does stay there, I think, doesn't it? Does it say deleted tweet?
No, it says deleted name and deleted message. Not this is on Reddit for what it's worth, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think Well, I don't know. I'm sorry, Keith. This seems upsetting to you, but are you getting a lot of fights online?
I want them to know I didn't forget.
Mm-hmm.
That's
never
all.
Forget.
Yeah, and it's not even me engaging. It's them engaging other people about us not knowing about the Middle East. Like this person traveled all over the world from Kentucky. Fuck out of here. Yeah,
it seems everybody seems to be an expert on this.
Yes.
A lot of people haven't shown any intelligence in this field before this that I've known seem to have a lot of strong opinions.
And they come out with a strong opinion so fast, and it's always so simple and so stupid. Hemda says, you know what, the anti-Jewish shit we're seeing in New York City is a little scary. Next thing you know, Hemda's making a point like, do you know that they're going to come for you next? Why don't you think blah, blah, blah? And you have idiots going, Hamas is going to come to my house tonight? Like, motherfucker. Didn't you sit and think for a second we were anti-Muslim, then we're anti-Asian, now we're anti-Jews? Do you get what she's saying, you fucking idiot? But you typed it, and then what? Again, you're off the toilet, you're bored, you look back and you go, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Delete, and then you teach your kids life lessons. Fucking dumb fuck.
I do wish my parents would delete some of the life lessons they tried to teach me.
Sure.
So sometimes that delete button might be, or maybe an edit button, but
it'd be nice. Yeah. I remember, you remember the first time you realized your parents are dumb? I've had this recently. Have you guys had this? Well, you with your dad, of course. I don't know if he's dumb. He seems smart, but he's using it in the wrong way.
I think I got older I got older and he would do magic. He does magic. But it's like, it's really for fucking toddlers. Like, where'd my thumb go? But I'm 14 and I'm like, you don't have a skill of any kind.
Yeah, it's hard. I remember my mom, I was probably like 7 and I was thinking, somebody used the term a mile a minute. And I was like, that's 60 miles an hour. Like someone's talking a mile a minute. And I was like, Mom, 60 miles an hour isn't that fast? That's like a normal speed. And she goes, oh, people say that when someone's talking slow. And I was like, what? I was like, I don't think that's true. She goes, yeah, that's true. And I was like, in my house, like, this bitch doesn't know what she's talking about. It's like, this bitch is lying about everything.
She's like, can you crank your conversation up to 75? Because can you Autobahn it to me? Because you're really dragging here.
They're dumb people.
Yesterday was election day. Ohio said yes to making abortion a constitutional right. Ohio is the first Republican state to do so. That's why that's a big deal.
Ohio is killing it this week. They made recreational weed. They made sure abortion is legal. I mean, Ohio, man. I'm gonna start taking you off my list of when I go, Ohio, Idaho, Nebraska.
Isn't it? It's a Republican state. I thought Ohio was just one of the big swing states.
It's Republican.
Okay, sorry, I don't know much. All right, that's good.
In deep red Kentucky, a Democrat will win a second term after he made abortion rates a key issue in the campaign.
All right, pretty cool. Kentucky, look at that.
Okay.
Democrats sweep control of the Virginia legislature, whatever that means. Nobody's quite sure.
Virginia, Virginia.
I know Virginia's, my wife Courtney's from Virginia, and it's very spicy. There's northern and southern Virginia are extremely different, so it's a big battle.
Let me guess, Southern Virginia is more conservative.
Yeah, you could have.
How does that always work?
Southern.
What? But how does that always work? North Carolina, South Carolina, they're right in the middle of the north and south of us, right? Kind of a little lower, but
yeah.
South Carolina is the South for North Carolina, and North Carolina is a little more loosey-goosey, and the South is a little more conservative. And everywhere with the North and South. North New York is the only one that works the opposite.
North Korea, South Korea.
They got that one right. That one's the only opposite. But in America, it's always the South, even if you're up north. It's interesting.
Yeah. Is it the words? You think the word South kind of imbues them with a, ignorant hatred?
Yeah.
I
think it means congeniality, but it's obviously it's the opposite over there. But it's the bless your hearts. But yeah, I think I wonder if it actually means a word as opposed to a direction. Maybe. In diversity news, Sherelle Parker is projected to be Philadelphia's first woman mayor. Gabe Amo will become the first Black person to represent Rhode Island in Congress. So,
all right.
Going too. Yeah.
Oh my God. This is, great news, great news. Just want to preface that, but that we're still saying the first in the United States of America should show us where we're at. That's all. I'm not saying piece of shit. I'm not saying whatever. I'm just saying that shows us where we're at. The first Black, the first female, the first this, the first that. It's
not good. Anytime it's the first Black something or whatever, people are like, oh, you're going woke. You're going right. Because you hired a Black person, it's going woke. People are so fucking dumb. I can't take it.
You remember the Top Gun Maverick, the sequel?
Oh, I remember.
And all the red papers, the more Republican papers, New York Post, etc. They're like, you know why this was a hit? They ignore why Barbie was a hit, but they go, you know why this was a hit? It didn't go woke. And it's like, yeah, there were no gay pilots and only one Black person was a boss. Yeah, it wasn't too woke. They were just telling a story.
It was just white dudes with muscles, no one yelling about it. Everyone's straight as hell. It's so ridiculous. I can't. Yeah, with the Barbie movie, I know. Fox News was talking nonstop about how it's a whole, it's some kind of secret message, liberal message, and it's woke and all this stuff. And then one of my relatives didn't want to go, and because they saw all that, and then they went and just cried their eyes out the whole time and loved it. And there's nothing. It's so stupid. They're just yelling about the dumbest stuff.
Wow, is that? I assume it's a female relative of yours?
Yes.
Because man, that's so interesting. I think. When Fox News is like, it's too woke, it's too this, it's too that, I think that conservative women forget that we are oppressed too. They forget that when things are too woke, that means women have privilege, or not even privilege, women have equality. And so when they actually go to the thing and they go, oh, this is about making me an okay place in this society, they're like, whoops. I hope they're like, whoops.
I thought it's funny. Hemden knew it was a woman, I guess, from not being ashamed about crying constantly. I assumed it was a man right away because women just, shame on me, women always seem so much smarter. This person just said it was too woke, and I'm like, who's this fucking dude? It's got to be.
I mean, you'd think so, but if you're just, fed Fox News all day, you don't really have a real gauge. I remember there's some huge crisis going on. It was, it looked bad for Republicans, and I turned on Fox News, and all they're talking about was a lifeguard shortage. I remember they were just ignoring this big story, and it's so fucking dumb. You would have I don't know. Anyway, how you good? It's good. Everything's good.
There are like 5 not sentences there. I think I'm supposed to answer.
Sorry,
I'm doing
I can't
okay
get my
here.
words out. I'm too stressed out. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you for half asking. I am doing okay here. My friend Adam said, hey, you have an air fryer. Have you been making chicken wings in that?
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, I'll reheat them if I don't eat them all. He's like, no, make them at home. It is so easy. I really should make a cookbook, and it's called "You're fucking kidding me." You just take I'm making wings, I'm making legs, I'm making thighs, salt, pepper, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder. Those are the 5 you need for, quite frankly, almost everything. And you
Adobe's
throw it
pretty
in.
good. I don't know if you've ever tried Adobe. You can slide that in as you're talking. You
Mhm.
got the
Adobe's
hits.
in
You got the
everything.
hits.
Chef Ramsay doesn't use Adobe. So I put it in 10 minutes, flip it over 10 minutes, boom, and done. And man, this can't be a healthy diet chicken all day nowadays, but it's not the worst thing.
Not the worst.
Wait, where did this come from? Sorry, did I miss?
You mumbled 5 things. One of them
and then you got the chicken.
How are
Okay.
you? And so I'm saying I'm doing pretty good over here.
Hell yeah. I want to get an air fryer. It seems like a good purchase.
It's a very good purchase.
That's what you should call your cooking shows. What did you just say? It's not
me. You fucking kidding me? You just do that?
You can. Oh, I see.
Sure. You. Where the fuck is he go? He's late to something else now. Do you know it adds up like a domino effect? This is never going to end. Anyway, I'll tell you some big cooking news. I sharpened a knife for the first time.
Oh, baby! Wow!
Because I bought over there.
I bought the presses.
I don't know how.
You know why you sharpen the knife? I don't know how to tell you this, Casey. But a few months ago, we're in the middle of a show. Keith turns to his right, and goes, "I think you have the wrong house." No, I live here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the person went away, and I'm like, Keith, what just happened? He goes, somebody just walked into my house.
Wow.
Well, this show's more important, Casey. I mean, you can't tell. You mumble as you walk away so that we can't continue. But
I've been in that situation. But did they seem apologetic? Was it an accident?
Yeah, it was an accident.
Hey, how did they walk into the studio's like far back, isn't it? They walked all the way through the studio?
No, I'm just, ever since COVID, we've been doing it in our own apartments. So you can walk into my place.
So it was an accident. There wasn't an attack.
You never know, though, nowadays. It wasn't an attack, but I still sharpened the knife just in case.
You got it. That's smart. I've been on I was dog sitting one time, and apparently I brought them back to the floor below, and the whole building looked at. I didn't realize, and this door was unlocked, so I just walked in with these 2 big dogs, and I was looking. I was like, the setup is all the same. I was like, things look a little different, and then this woman comes charging. And she goes, "Get the fuck out!" She was like holding. She's like, "Get the fuck out!" I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know." She's like, "Get the fuck out!" And the dogs are all freaking out, and I like scramble out of there.
What was she holding?
I don't know. It was just like a book, or it was just something that clubbed me. But it's the first thing she grabbed. And I remember as I left, I just hear her go, ah. And I was like, "Fuck!" That was scary. I felt so bad. I was on the wrong floor.
Wow,
that is my nightmare. Okay,
I mean,
I am so glad that women are writing this into sitcoms and movies that and memes and shorts and all this stuff. When you live alone as a woman, there are times, and for a while it was like every time you walk in the door and you go through your whole place, and the hardest part to go through, because you just think someone's like hiding under a table, so you check under the table, you check under the bed. And one of the hardest things to do, and I know a lot of females will agree with me, is you're checking the shower. And if you have a shower curtain, you're like, okay, here it comes. And you slide the shower curtain really quick as if it's like, gotcha, fucker. It's not like we
and they shit their pants and kill themselves.
That's the thing. Like I think we're relying on the fact that if something is there, it'll catch us so quickly that we shit our pants, and this person will be like more reluctant to get near us, because it is a nightmare. But I know that a lot of women have done that. And I would like to know if that's like more of a city thing. Do you do it out in the country? Because I get scared in the country too, because everything is so quiet. But I love that. I think a person came into my house and is just sitting there quietly with his knife behind something, under something, no matter how long I took outside. They're ready and they're so quiet when I walk in. They're still, and I won't know. But yeah, I think a lot of people go through it.
It's scary. You don't know. I mean, the fact that she didn't. I had like a French bulldog. I don't know how many murderers are bringing their French bulldog with them, but she
doesn't know either.
I know, and but there was no like. I didn't see any like realization that, oh, this guy's in the wrong house. The whole time it was just pure terror, like I was gonna murder, and I looked scared too. But I just tried to avoid. I was so scared to see her again the whole time I was staying there. I felt horrible.
Did you ever go into the building again?
Well, I was dog sitting there for a few more days, so I had to, and I just had to try to avoid her the whole time. It was terrifying.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Let me ask you this, Keith.
Yeah.
Would you leave a note saying, hey, I'm dog sitting. I walked into your place by mistake. I know I startled you. I startled me too, all the shit. Or am I just being away about this? Keith Malley.
I missed part of the story.
Okay. He was returning dogs. He went to the wrong floor.
Okay.
That door was open. So he opened the door of an apartment of a woman who was not expecting him. He walked in with the dog to return the dog.
Okay.
Didn't reckon. He's like, this house looks different. All of a sudden, this woman comes out, goes, get the fuck out of my place. And he realizes he's in the wrong place with the French bulldog. He runs
I'd
out.
invite her over to Thanksgiving. No, that's the end of it.
But
Yeah,
he's
it's the end of
he's
it. I never
dog
wanted to go
sitting.
back.
But he's dog sitting in that apartment building for the next few days. Also,
She'll figure it out. She'll figure it out.
If I had to, if I ran into her again, I would just try to steer clear, I think. Let's just leave it in the past. Let bygones be bygones.
I might have left a note.
I'd walk in the you'd left in you'd sneak in again and leave a
note.
No.
Just constantly sneak.
No.
Go back in to edit it. No, that wasn't right. I got the punctuation wrong. Just you're in there all day.
You invite her over to every holiday.
Yeah.
And you become a funny thing on the internet, a cute couple.
Yeah. Her knives look dull. Her knives look dull. I'm gonna sharpen them up while I'm here.
I hope this is okay. I did buy a knife sharpener some time ago. One of those little things,
Oh yeah.
It says coarse and fine, and I'm like, well, of course I want fine. Craig had to tell me how to use it.
I wouldn't know how to use it. Were you nervous?
I didn't know not nervous, but I didn't know what you did, so I never touched it. You do it coarse first, then you do it fine. And the first time I did fine, I cut myself, and I'm like, this is working already. Yeah, boy, that was exciting. And then I sliced an apple, and what a big difference. Wow. Then I sliced peanut butter, made it creamy. Then I'm looking at everything I can slice, like a pizza cutter. My Podcasting Hall of Fame award has a star on top. I sliced that up a little bit.
Have some fun. Wow, this is a big day for you, Keith. I'm
very excited. So thank you for half asking. I'm doing good.
Things are going good.
Yeah.
I'll never ask again.
You learned your lesson. We got to talk about the new podcast. Who isn't excited over here? I'll tell you.
I'm very excited.
You and your gorgeous wife.
Mm-hmm.
Is that my place to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
Has a new podcast called I Love You, but your music sucks.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
And I heard the first episode that's out right now, and I'll tell you that it's very fun.
No, you like that? Good. Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
I can't tell what arguments are real, what arguments aren't. I love
That's your favorite.
I love guessing. Do you find how many episodes do you have done so far?
We have 2. We're supposed to be recording later tonight. Yeah.
Okay. Kemda and I were better, at least I was, at communication while doing Keith and the Girl, because the other person can't go anywhere. They have to respond. A fight you don't really have time to think like, should I be offended? You're responding even if you are upset or offended.
For example, when we used to get into arguments, he can play the staring game for hours, as long as it takes. I'm like, you can ask a dude a question, or at least this one, how you doing? They'll just stare. Or, hey, this is how I feel about this fight. I don't think we should blah, blah, blah. They'll just stare. But staring on a podcast is dead air. So when we argued on the podcast, he would have to come up with the next thing to say, or the show's dead.
That's nice. So you trapped him in there. That's great. That's where the podcast started. All right, that's good.
Do you find, it's only been a couple shows for you guys, but do you find you could bring up something serious and it can't be taken petty? I know you're just talking about music, but sometimes you are talking about life. Do you find that?
We're talking about more than music. It's basically just, the basis is that we've got different tastes in music, but from there it'll grow and, how we compromise about different stuff. And it is nice that there are things I feel like I can bring up that if it weren't on a podcast, she would get really mad.
Right. But
since we're on a podcast, she can't. So I can kind of make fun of her about more things and kind of say I can get away with a lot more because she's not legally allowed to get actually mad. But the arguments feel real to me. I don't know how they are on her end, but I'm always scared. And I was a little scared to do the pod just because she worked so hard, and I knew you ever have this thing where your lady is a hardworking lady and you're kind of a piece of shit. So then she just kind of automatically takes care of everything before you even get a chance to. So then it's like you're screwed either way. That's kind of the situation where she knows I'm not going to do anything, so she does it. and then gets mad that I didn't do it. So I was worried about all that, but I think it's going smooth. And, you know, we work well together. I didn't want to just do it because we're married. I don't like working with many people in comedy just because I'm not good at communicating all the time. But she's one person I like to work with, whether we're married or not. So I'm very excited about it.
You guys ever notice that when men use the word lady towards a woman or female, it's like, what's coming? They're like, I feel like the word lady is the bless your heart of identifiers.
You think
like,
so?
Yes, because there's something, it's endearing. It's coming from a good place. It's that good boy mentality. If I'm a good boy, this is a lady. You know, if I'm saying something, I'm about to say something that could be controversial, my lady.
That's possibly it. I don't know. I feel like female is more disrespectful. I see people say female, and that's wildly disrespectful. Lady is just the funniest word to me. How should I refer to your kind?
Homo sapien.
That's the best. That's
now.
the best. I think you should start with, what's your kind?
Yeah.
How do I refer
well, her
to your
kind is mad at me, my kind all the time. So, but it's gonna be a good pod. I'm excited.
Did you think like maybe we shouldn't work together because why bother?
Yeah,
is it that fucking important?
No, I was worried for a while because I didn't want it to cause more fights between us.
Right.
You know, I'm worried about our marriage over our career, but you know, she felt the opposite. So I think it's gonna turn. I think it's gonna turn out great, and I think the longer it goes, once we you know, figure out our roles and everything's gonna run smooth. Just like you two. You guys are the king and queen, and we just want to be like you guys.
Does it seem we broke up. Does it seem unfair that that your music is so much better than her music?
How dare you? Let's fight now. Ready? Okay.
Well, I do feel
it's not even close because you like your Led Zeppelins, the band we'll talk about that you just talked about in the show, and she likes your NSYNCs and your pop shit. Almost not even subjectively, your music is so much better. If if Rolling Stones or anybody made a list, your bands are going to be on top as opposed to an NSYNC. It's not even debatable. It's fun, but do you know, quite frankly, you have the winning hand.
And how come you're not basing your music on choreography?
The band didn't do a lot of choreo. I don't know. I didn't know Richard Manuel to do a lot of moonwalking, but they're up there because they're playing instruments up there. Here's the thing: it is hard because I know, I do think my music's better, but she hates my music. I don't mind her music.
Come on, you don't mind her music.
No, I like some of it. I really like. It's like NSYNC isn't something I'm going to turn on, but I enjoyed some of those songs.
I like the songs that are in commercials too, but I mean, but our music is better.
It's better, but she doesn't agree with that. And I feel like most of the listeners are going to be, young girls. I don't know why I feel that way, but
young ladies.
And they're going to like young ladies. They're going to like that kind of music. So I'm going to be, on the shit end of the stick every week, even though I'm clearly the victor.
Right.
But,
Mallory Jane is writing and I have to say, I have never disagreed with Mallory. She's usually eye to eye.
They.
Mallory is they.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Shit. I apologize, Mallory. Mallory says rude. And now I think it's towards me.
I tried to twist it around. I knew it'd be against me and my music.
I'm sorry, Mallory.
When you take you guys talk about the band versus NSYNC. First of all, did you have to see Trolls 3 to keep the marriage together?
We haven't seen Trolls 3. Is it out? I don't know. We haven't yet to. I feel like I'm definitely going to be subjected to it at some point. I haven't seen Trolls 1 and 2, so it's going to be a long day. I gotta get them all in.
Caught up so you follow.
I'm going to be lost. I got no fucking. I'm like, who the fuck is this troll? Nobody. They're not introducing themselves. I don't know what's going on.
Did you end
probably at some point?
Last time Courtney was on, she was saying that you guys were seeing that Britney Spears movie. I forget the name of it. On the road tripping, a trip with.
Oh, Crossroads. Yes. We saw that. It was incredible. I loved it. It was so fun.
Okay, now I don't know what you're lying about. I'm
not lying. I was just saying I like all this shit.
It was incredible.
It was incredible experience. I wouldn't say the movie was incredible.
Did you get a hand job in the theater? It was incredible.
No, not in the bathroom. I did.
Okay, because I saw that movie and I love the people in it. Like, but it was incredible that it was made.
It was incredible. Here's the thing. When I know, it depends. You have to lower your expectations. Every time I'm going to see a movie, I try to lower my expectations as low as possible, especially if it's like a comedy or some fluff like that, or else it's going to be stupid. But I knew it was going to be bad, but I lowered my expectations, and it was an enjoyable time. And Britney Spears was so goddamn hot in it. She had that one out. She, showed her bra and panties. Everyone's making jokes. Dan Aykroyd. It was a fun time, and I like to see my wife happy. It's once a month. And
the new movie podcast is Crossroads versus The Godfather, but we can see all sides. We can see all sides. Sometimes it's fun to have fun, right?
I mean, I know I'm right, but she's more passionate, so she's gonna win because that's all that. Whoever's loudest wins.
And quite frankly, In Sync, Justin Timberlake's the king of that, right? And some people seem upset because this Britney book came out. Meanwhile, the band fairly recently had a dude die from it. I mean, right away, I looked at the description. I'm like, oh, well, Casey's going to win this one.
Well, yeah, I don't know. The Robbie Robertson was the guy who just died, and I've got very mixed feelings about him. He's the one I don't like out of the band, but rest in peace. He's kind of an asshole. Is
he the one that took over all the money and faked publishing?
He said he wrote everything, all the publishing. He was buddy with Martin Scorsese. So when they filmed The Last Waltz, they would just sit up doing coke all night editing, and they made it seem like he was like the main guy of the band. He was the focus. They even had him like playing guitar that he wasn't even actually playing. Like clearly edited it all to make it all seem like Robbie Robertson was the focus. And Levon Helm, who's my favorite, is the drummer. He hated him the most, especially because their other bandmate. See, when Robbie Robertson had all their money, the rest of them had to go back on tour to make some money because they had nothing. And then while they're on tour, one of their band members, Richard Manuel, hung himself in their hotel room during the tour. And Levon Helm blamed Robbie Robertson for all that happening. Since he took
as
all
a
their
big
money,
statement, the rest of the band, no pun, found him, right?
What?
Did they find? They found him hung.
Yeah. They found him hung. Meaning
that's a statement.
Exactly. So that was the statement. And this guy also, he said he went into Levon Helm's room and they made up as Levon Helm was dying. But Levon was like, his family said he was like passed out and he was unconscious. And there's no way he would ever make up with Robbie Robertson.
Right. So they made up, but then he killed himself. So maybe it's on you guys. Did he twist it around? What did you do last? Because he said we were totally fine.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a fun pod. It's gonna be, whatever kind of music you like. It's also about couples therapy and people coming together. So it's gonna be a great time. Please listen in. We need to be successful and make money, or things are gonna fall apart pretty quick.
Also, I didn't hear the coming together part, but I did enjoy it very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Keith.
I can't wait for Led Zeppelin versus Miley Cyrus. I don't know how I'm gonna feel.
I like Miley Cyrus. I don't know. I'm not a huge Led Zeppelin guy.
Okay.
There's some of those classic rock bands like them, Pink Floyd, The Who. Maybe I just heard too much at a certain time.
It's funny.
It doesn't connect with me as much.
It's funny, older music and how it relates to the way we use search engines now. It was so hard for the longest time to get my Apple Music to play music by Slash. Try to Google the band Murder or Death. That is not going to work out.
No. Try finding the band. They're like, which band? The band.
That's meanwhile, you Google the word Britney and you're good to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor Karens out there,
You mentioned in the show how the band opened for Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And real quickly, you mentioned how, people would be like, oh, Bob Dylan, you went to electric, go fuck yourself. And so Bob Dylan only plays louder. He really does a fuck you to the fans. And you're right. He really doesn't give a shit, not only what you think about him, but I do think he is giving an extra fuck you. I did not too long ago see him live. The audience is mostly, I know the greatest hits. I did a little extra research the night before. The audience, of course, is rabid and older. No one knew what song he was playing without exaggeration, Casey. Nobody knew. We're all looking at each other. Finally, I looked at an older person. I'm like, well, what is this one? And it's one of his hits. And we're like, we can't tell until 3/4 in. We don't know what he's saying when he talks. Like, where are we going? And then we look around like, I think I got a word. What did you get? And we realized it's an intermission that he probably said, I'll be back before you even know I'm gone. But we're only guessing. And he came back 15 minutes later.
Yeah, I've seen him twice, and he just sits behind a keyboard and he's like, meh, meh. He looks like an old zombie while other guys do the work.
Right.
Yeah, and you'll hear a word like Rolling Stone, and you're like, oh, that's what song it is.
Okay.
But it's outrageous. But I kind of part of me respects it, part of me hates it. Like
I hate it.
He's a real artist, so he doesn't really give a fuck. He's bored of playing it like that. But also be a fucking entertainer. And also he lies all the time. I was reading rock autobiographies left and right. And I was enjoying myself. And then I started reading him. And I'm like, half of this is fucking made up. Just tell the truth. I don't need to hear your little fucking riddles.
Like what?
So I like him. But I don't remember. I have to just talking about like walking up, talking about coming to New York City. I remember he walked up some magical tower and found this old guy who made potions on like West 4th Street. I don't know. A lot of it just sound like flowery bullshit. And I was like, I don't have time. I don't need to read your fucking novel here. Just tell me the story. Right. It's interesting. He seems like a real asshole, but
I think he had a stroke, and you guys are just like, "Come on, play it good."
But he did that back in the day. He's changed his voice all throughout, no matter.
I'm hurting inside. I can't play. My fingers are going wherever. I don't even know what song I'm playing.
Yeah, he seems to not even enjoy it. I don't know what he's doing out there. None of it makes sense.
Right. It's like, play real. My money's real. My money took it seriously.
Money's not $80. Real. You're here because you wanted to be. Leave if you want. It's not a drill.
But he acts like he's such a real artiste.
I am.
Meanwhile, he's selling harmonicas for $400 in the front.
I got you again, bitch. I'll see you at the next concert.
Oh my god, he's such a fucking weirdo. I remember. Did you watch the Rolling Thunder Review documentary? It's so funny.
No,
there's one part. It's just him being weird, all coked out and stuff. And he's talking about. He's like, Allen Ginsberg was an incredible dancer. He just dance and dance, and then it cut to a clip, and Allen Ginsberg was like. Just doing the worst dancing, like skipping around. Like he's like, people would just watch and stand for hours. It was the worst fucking dancing I've ever seen. Seemed like a good time. Check it out.
I'm reading here a story of you remember the Central Park Karen back in 2020? She had a dog off a leash. A guy said, hey, you gotta have your dog on a leash. And she said, don't fucking bother me. And I'll go over the story in more detail. But you know what? Don't harass me or you're not gonna like what I do. And he's like, well, what are you going to do? And so she calls the cops and says, a black man is threatening me. This happens to be the same day as George Floyd. So, you know, which is where people had a breaking point. So, that cops are not good with black people. That's what you're hoping happens when you do that. And she ended up then everything goes viral and she ends up getting fired. Let's see, it was a black bird watcher. It went viral 3 years ago. She did a op-ed for Newsweek. Talking about this again.
What?
About how she can't move on recently.
Why did she bring it back up? What the
Why
fuck?
Bring it up? Because it's part of her new book. Please respect my privacy. Well, what are you doing? Don't keep bringing it up and complaining. Amy Cooper in an opinion piece for Newsweek. By the way, when they let you do an opinion piece, it doesn't mean they're on your side.
Yeah,
it might be a trick.
Also, Amy Cooper, you don't have a name like Chemda Khalili, so blend.
Right. Yeah, just blend in. Jesus. You're in the wrong in every aspect. Just the dog off leash is wrong enough without the rest of it. Holy shit.
Amy Cooper claimed in an opinion piece for Newsweek that she has received an endless flurry of hate mail that told her she deserves to be raped in prison and should kill herself. Don't worry, they'll delete that later. Don't worry. They'll act like you're insane.
By the way, I hate when our side does that. It's such a fucking weird thing to retaliate like that. To say someone needs to be raped. Can you get off my side if that's how you feel? That's not, I think, what anybody means by Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last 3 years, I am still in hiding. I'm scared to be in public. I still can't get a job that meets my qualifications. And
you're black now.
Right. And there have been long stretches of unemployment, all leading to thoughts of self-harm. Cooper was fired from her job as an insurance portfolio manager at Franklin Templeton Investments within 24 hours of the video going viral. May 25th, 2020. Let's see. She was caught on camera yelling at science and comic book writer Christian Cooper. No relationship, but it is funny.
Oh, that's weird.
The same last name. You got to go by pronouns because news articles keep wanting to say Cooper as a last name.
Right.
No relation, and called the and called the police to claim, quote, an African-American man was threatening her while she was walking her dog. As Christian's video went viral, my life, she says, as I knew it, was over. Cooper wrote of the days after Christian and his sister posted a brief clip that showed her calling the police on him, which was viewed over 40 million times.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
Was my never-ending cancel culture sentence a just verdict? She asked in the piece. Yes, it was. You said a black man's threatening me so that you hope the cops came and beat him. You would expect that would happen. Whatever
happened to you, you were hoping would happen to him times 10.
Yes.
So it's weird that you're calling for justice now. What's interesting, and I think Pizza's right about this, but I don't know.
Pizza's never wrong.
I know. Pizza. Oh, every day. Pizza is saying that dude has a bird watching show on Disney Plus now.
Oh, wow. True? That worked out great for him.
And he just yells at white women.
I'd watch that. That's good.
Maybe they mean bird by like female.
I was thinking, yeah, that's it all. She was the one. She had her dog off leash, right? And he just came up to
had her dog off the leash. She says, hey, you have to have your dog on a leash. She puts the leash on the dog, but as she's yelling at him, she's holding the dog up by the leash, really choking the dog.
Yeah. I hate this. I used to be a dog walker. I feel like I've told a story here before, but people who have their dogs off leash just infuriate me. I don't care how cool you think you are. You fucking train your dog. I was walking. I remember one time it was like 10 a.m. I was walking through McCarran Park, hungover, walking this big ass dog and another little dog. And this dog was like an Australian wire hair, which for some reason was like bred to round up other dogs. So any other dog just wanted to fucking kill this dog. And I saw this pit bull with this old lady who was like she wasn't holding onto the leash. I was like, oh God. And the pit bull just fucking comes at us and is trying to kill this dog. I let the other dog like run away, and I'm fucking wrestling this pit bull at 10 in the morning. I've gotten a chokehold that's like dragging me through it. And the lady's just standing there going, I don't know. And I'm like, it's a fucking dog. Finally, people helped. But I was just like, why the fuck would this 98-pound, 100-year-old woman think they could have a pit bull? And people just think they could just it. It's like, even if you think your dog's cool, you don't know what's going to happen. Right. Get it on a goddamn leash, you piece of trash.
Keep your dog on a leash. Now, I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to leave your dog after I walk him, but have him on a leash at least.
I got the dogs back, so it all worked out. Thank God.
Holy you fucking wrestled a dog and you're just saying that like it's nothing?
There's nothing I could do. I've wrestled plenty of dogs before.
I'm known for
it. No, that was the only one, I think. The only one that was a serious wrestling, not for play.
What happens to you guys after you do something like that? Because I usually sob, and I'm like, I just need to sob for some time, and then it'll pass, and then I'm good. But what happens to you? You're sweating, your heart's racing. What happens?
I was screaming, just going like, fuck. I just do that. I was like, cocksucker. I just yell stuff like that. I'll sob some if it hits the point where I got stuck in traffic so bad and missed a show last week, where I ended up crying because it was just too much. It was just too much. Okay. But this time I was just screaming. I went back to like look for her. I don't know what I was gonna do after I dropped the dog off. She wasn't. Thank God she wasn't there, because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm gonna say this. I'm just so mad. I'm gonna fucking scream horrible things at this tiny old woman. But yeah, I want to cry thinking about it now.
Amy Cooper was charged by Manhattan prosecutors in July 2020 with falsely reporting an incident. And while the rap was ultimately tossed after she attended therapy sessions on racial bias, she still lost her job. Yeah, sounds like she learned a lot. And by the way, he dropped charges also. Or he didn't want to press charges. It was the cops that dismissed the charges, but he said, don't worry, she learned her lesson. She later lost a wrongful termination lawsuit against her ex-employee. So she took the classes, learned the lesson, then tries to start suing everybody.
Unbelievable.
I care for one of my parents who have a terminal illness. Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Nice try. I want them to know I'll be okay, but I do not know if I will ever be.
Did she say that she was like wrong and she fucked up?
No.
How does she not? In what world does she?
Cooper described taking her beloved dog for a walk and specifically visiting a part of the park where dogs are allowed off leash. That is not true.
That's not true. And how are you going to write an op-ed just reminding and just making yourself look worse?
No one asked. Yeah.
Bringing this back up and looking so much worse by not realizing that years later how she was in the wrong.
Right. Because this is her opinion. And as I'm hearing it, I'm trying to find empathy for her, because Because I'm hoping people change and that, you know, they could really learn a lesson. But I don't, like you said, I don't hear the lesson. If somebody gave you an opportunity to share your opinion, I guess it's nice that you're being honest, but I don't know what to feel compassionate for, except if you say, like, I realized I was calling him for him to go through what I'm going through now. And now I realize that even a portion of this, what happens to him on a regular basis, what happens to Black people in this country on a regular basis, happens without provocation. And here I was provoking that. I now learned that even just a little bit of lack of kindness towards somebody else could change their life so profoundly. And that's what I'm feeling right now. I hope it goes away. I understand that, like, I'm made an example of because, you know, this is just what happened to me, but I am humbled by this experience. And I hope to somehow make it up to everybody and to myself. But I, you know, where to begin, here's what I've done so far. And I hope to keep going.
Yeah.
That's but none of it is in there. So where am I going with you?
It's 2023. Say what they wanted you to learn in these sensitivity classes and you'll have a TV show yourself.
Right. Ask the AI. What do you say when you get in trouble? Use your op-ed money, which is probably $25 for that article, to hire some PR lady. Ask a comic to help you write it who's on the right side. Talk to a Black person for a few minutes. Run this by that. Like, what is in those classes, I really want to know, that makes you still have this blind idea of how people should feel about you when you still haven't changed your mind about how you feel about other people.
And when you get the sensitivity training certificate, do you put it on your wall? Does she save the Newsweek article? I'm dating her, and does she show it to me all proud? And I'm like, oh, I gotta use the bathroom outside.
That's cute. Just, her mom is a scrapboard of all the news articles, calling her a white devil.
Seconds later, I hear a voice. Boom, get out of here. You shouldn't be here. While I was with my dog. According to Cooper, the man Christian frightened her when he yelled at her and then pulled out treats for her dog.
And in sensitivity class, did they teach you that the Black man wasn't yelling? You just see the Black man as yelling?
Right. Yeah, he was yelling, I want to give your dog treats to make things okay. Before recording me, Christian Cooper yelled out, if you're going to do what you want, I'm going to do what I want. But you're not gonna like it, she claims. Christian, who said the encounter began after Cooper refused to place her dog on the leash, admitted to saying those words in interviews following the incident. I was a female alone in a secluded area, Cooper claimed in Newsweek. She said, with a man yelling at me and threatening me. But we saw the video. It wasn't threatening. That wasn't threatening.
This is her opinion. She still sees the Black man as a threat, no matter if he's yelling or if he's standing down or if he has his hands up. It's the reason why she called the cops. She expects everybody to see this from their point of view because she still has that opinion.
Since the incident, Christian has written a book for DC Comics, launched a TV show on National Geographic. Cooper said she has reached out to him multiple times, but has never heard back. He said he's not going to press charges. That's the end of it. Everybody wants letters in their house.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to call you back. The end. Fuck off.
Yeah.
No,
you want an apology. It doesn't sound like you're apologizing. You're bringing up what he did to you again. So what could this phone call be? If she apologized, then that means she's waiting for him to apologize. You know, these apologies where they apologize and then they stand there with their hand out like they're waiting for a tip, and go on. Like, oh no, that's not what happened.
I don't understand people's mind. That it's just like cannot fathom them being wrong in any situation. I say sorry 100 times a day.
That's why you're married.
That's why I'm married. Yeah, I'm just waiting to apologize for things, and people just refuse to. This is insane. Ever think they've ever done anything wrong? I just don't understand what their brains are like. It must be incredible.
There is no such thing as a Karen. Where this is your biggest problem.
Oh my God!
The goofy word Karen.
Oh my God!
My name's Amy.
I got called a Karen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Right. I was saying this is what's the most upsetting thing is that she got called a Karen.
I said a Black person being violent, but they called me a Karen. There is no such thing as a Karen. We're all just people. Each of us deserving grace and forgiveness. Is this the first time you admitted something was wrong, that you deserve forgiveness? Because none of your words said you want forgiven for anything. You didn't do anything wrong.
Unbelievable. She could have said nothing and just it would have been forgotten about. Just move to a different place.
Maybe, you know what? You're right. You're right, Casey. She could have said she could have said nothing, and people like me would still be in that space of maybe she, maybe she changed her mind. Maybe she went to the sensitivity thing, and now she's living a whole nother thing. So people like me would be like, let's hope for the best and move on with our lives. I haven't thought about this person, but no. But good. Let people show you who they are.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So here's what you do: you download the podcast. It's called "I Love You, But Your Music Sucks." This could last for years or days. We don't know yet, but it's exciting, and I'm loving it so far.
Thanks, brother. Get on the ground floor. Who knows how long it's gonna last? Get it while it's hot.
You said that you're going to you each pick a song that you like of the other person's shitty band. Is that correct?
Yes. Correct.
And then you said you were making a playlist of it'll be from each show, like one song from the band, one song from NSYNC we have so far, and then you rekindle your love, get remarried on a road trip. You hear those songs.
Certainly. That's the plan at the end, because we do that on road trip. We go song for song, tolerating each other. And so I think this will bring people together.
Speaking of which, sorry, please.
I just forgot what I didn't have anything to say after that. I didn't know I was still talking. Go ahead.
Speaking of road trips and sharing music, Spotify has a thing where it'll play from both of your playlists or both of your genres, both of your whatever. So when I do that, when the song comes on, I'm like, okay, this one's clearly my fault, so I'm nice. Like, this sounds like your fault. So, but you can tell, but then all of a sudden you kind of hear some music that you wouldn't have listened to before, and maybe something hits you and whatever. It's a good way to blend it, song for song. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like our playlist is obsolete now that they have that. Yeah, thanks a lot. Never mind. Podcast is canceled. They already have something better.
Well, I want your playlist.
All right. Keep going.
Here's what you do. You download the podcast and also follow Casey James Salengo online. The X is at Casey J. Salengo. The Instagram is the same, Casey J. Salengo. Anything else that people should know, Casey?
Follow me online. I'm trying to get more followers so I can go on tour. If you want me to come to your city and help place, hit me up, send me a DM. I'm trying to get out there on the road a little more. Let's make it happen, babies. I love you.
Right. Excellent. Big news. It's that time of the year. It's Kickstarter time. That's what pushes the 24-hour marathon, of course. And not to be dramatic, this could be the last one, but there's a lot of cool rewards going on, including the 24-hour marathon. You can be a guest. I might do another podcast as well called Keith's Meditation Podcast. I'll tuck you into bed every night. I think meditation. Keith's Meditation. What did I say? Medication? What the fuck did I say?
You said meditation. Why is this the last one?
Meditation. Maybe. What's that? Well, that's what the everything about the Kickstarter we'll talk about. Also, Chris Turner is part of this. There was big news, and Chris Turner wraps the news to you. One take only. I mean, he's been on before. He's a brilliant improv rapper, and you give him some suggestions. He raps it, right there on the spot. We sent him the video we did. We can see how many times somebody sees that video. It was only looked at one literal time. So as amazing as him in this video is, there was absolutely no cheating. And that's very fun.
I couldn't believe it. When he sent it back and I listened to it, I'm like, we said all of that in there? And then I had to check if he only heard it one time, because he can cheat. And also he knows it. He knew it was for our Kickstarter. He knew it was big. And so he could have no. One time that video was played one time, and then we took the permission away, and that's it.
That's we said, fuck you. Yeah. It seems kind of rude the way we challenged him, but he is the real deal. He is the real deal. Penda, do you want to click live on that Kickstarter, keithandthegirl.com/kick?
Okay, I'm ready to launch. The button was clicked, ready to launch. I read all of the details, terms of use, privacy policy.
Oh, you just did all that just now? All right,
I just did that, and now I'm going to launch. And did it happen? Congratulations, your project is live. Thank you so much. Go to keithandthegirl.com/kick to see it. I just want to quickly peruse through. Oh, and thank you all for listening.
Casey, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, guys. Love you. See you on the flip side.
Also, I just want to say that Mallory said, love you, Chemda, and that was earlier. And I love them too. And I love you, Mallory. And I'll see you all later. Thank you.